Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for joining us today on the ReadyTalk webinar series. If you have joined us before, welcome back. If this is your first time with us in the series, thank you for taking some time out of your afternoon to do so. Today's presentation is actually a combo presentation between myself, Simone Verhulst from ReadyTalk, and Rachel Levy, who is the founder of WebinarListings, and you can see our information up there. We'll cover a couple housekeeping items and then we'll kick off with the presentation. Everybody's going to be in a listen-only mode. However, if you guys do have some questions throughout the presentation, feel free to chat them into the chat feature. We may answer you back with a quick chat, but we will queue them up for the live question and answer session at the very end after we're done going through the presentation. Also, if you guys are on Twitter, I threw this slide up here before. Let me back up quickly. Feel free to follow our event today on Twitter with the hashtag WebinarPromo. You can see our Twitter handles there as well. So we'd love for you to carry on the conversation outside of it too. So on that note, let's go ahead kick off with the good stuff. Oh, also, I guess I should say today's presentation is being recorded. So if you missed something, you want to take additional notes, keep an eye out for that in the post-event email, and that will be sent out later on this afternoon along with the slide deck. So on that note, now we will get started. Again, I said my name is Simone Verhulst. I'm the manager here of our webinar series. Again, and you've heard me before, maybe my voice if you've joined us for a previous event. And I also help out with our lead generation efforts for our sales team. So that's who I am. I'm going to let Rachel do a brief introduction of herself as well.
Hi everybody. Thank you so much for joining this afternoon. I am, as Simone mentioned, the founder and CEO of WebinarListings, which is basically a directory of webinars. So webinar hosts can host their webinars on our site, and then we help promote them for them. And this is either for live webinars or recorded webinars. So it's a great way to get your message out to a new audience. So that's a bit about who we are, and I may go over a little bit more in the future, but that's the basic update.
All right. So to kick off today's event, Rachel and I think combined have promoted and or planned a number of webinars in our day, so hopefully you'll walk away with a bit of actionable items for you guys' next event. First off, everybody knows if you have planned an event before that it is everything for a successful event, and obviously the promotional piece plays a huge part of that plan, or I guess more so or more accurately how effectively you actually do that promotion. So again, kind of like the initial event description says, you might have the best content in the world, but that if there's no one there to listen to it, I guess it doesn't really do you a whole lot of good. So here are some questions you guys should be asking yourself in the beginning. When should I kick off this process? What pieces do I need to prepare? What items do I need from my speaker? What are the deadlines for each of these? So I do have a poll question coming up here. And I kind of want to get an idea from you guys. And actually, you know what? We didn't insert the poll question. But go ahead and chat it into the chat feature. What is your timeline for promotion when you are planning an event? Is it 4 to 6 weeks? Is it 6 to 8 weeks? Do you have a plan? Some people might not. Maybe their meetings are more ad hoc. So feel free to chat those into the chat feature right now and kind of get an idea of what our audience does when they prepare. I'll give you a second to do that. So kind of moving forward on these concepts of the timelines. Timelines and materials. Typically in our webinar series, we are planning the process anywhere from 6 to 8 weeks in advance. And you know what? You can actually go up to 4 weeks and still get a good amount of promotion in there and all the items that you need. But the biggest piece is if you're planning an event with numerous presenters or there are a lot of parties involved, you kind of want to bump your timeline out simply for the scheduling fact because it's a lot of items to juggle and it could be kind of like herding cats at some point. So you want to make sure that you definitely give yourself enough time for that planning piece so that you do have your promotional items in line at the right times. And again, this might include things like making sure you're actually setting up the event with whoever your provider might be, booking everyone's time on the calendars, making sure you have enough time to kind of do a dry run of people's slide decks, giving them a breakdown or an abstract of the timeline, those deliverables and those action items, when they need to be due by in order for you to continue to promote the event. So all this seems pretty simple, right? You have your concepts and your materials, you've got your critical dates and deliverables, and then your execution, and then your event. Everything's great, right? Well, it usually is not quite that easy, but you can make it easier hopefully by some of these tips here. So we'll kind of do a breakdown of the time frame. So 6 to 8 weeks prior, again, this is when you want to start putting together your webinar and your description and your title. And this is also the time when you're gathering your speaker photos and their bios and those kind of informational pieces. I'm kind of speaking to this as I do it as a webinar organizer, I should say. Again, this might be something that it's a webinar that you're doing. So you have a little bit of leeway there as far as you maybe don't have as many people to pull into the process. But again, if this is an event that you're scheduling for someone else or trying to put together for a team of people, this is kind of the timeline that you want yourself to be on. Secondly, so 4 to 6 weeks prior, kind of moving along. This is kind of when you start your invitations and your marketing campaigns. You want to be able to track your promotional efforts as much as possible. So whoever your provider might be, if you're able to create unique URLs to do that promotion, to use in all of the different places that we'll mention on a little bit farther down the line, do that, because obviously it's really important to see where your best traffic is coming in from, what's worth spending your time on when you are promoting the event. What kind of stuff can you move off of your calendar? You want to be the most strategic, and obviously you want to be the most effective and efficient with your time. And again, we'll get into some of the specifics of where to promote. Rachel's got a lot of great pointers a little bit farther down in the presentation as far as those go. But these might be 4 to 6 weeks prior in your event promotion is a great place to start if you're doing any Google AdWords campaigns or PPC campaigns to kind of get those up and rolling. Obviously that's going to involve you writing some ad copy, making sure that your words are approved. So this is a great place to start those. It's giving you some time. It also gives you plenty of head start time too to see what campaigns are working and what is not. You know, if you have an ad up and it's not getting any traffic at all, obviously you still have time to change it if you're still 6 weeks out from your event. This is also a great place, really similar to PPC campaigns, for your LinkedIn and your Facebook promotions. So when I schedule an event, it goes up on our website about 4 weeks prior, and at that same time that's when I go into LinkedIn and create my ads there that I have going, as well as my Facebook campaigns. And you guys may also be doing Facebook ad campaigns, which is really great as far as targeting your audience more specifically to your topic. So I would encourage you to put those things on your calendars in this time frame as well.